talk about when it comes to mapping is that your mapping doesn't have to look like anything. I think a lot of us get caught up in like, my map has to look like what other people's map looks like. That's not the case. Do what you want to do. Remember, you are the artist. Would you make a painting that looks like someone else's? No, you would do something that's you, right? Something that makes sense to you and your brain and your learning style. So what I'm doing is my bottom layer, I'm going to do a mix of open fans and semi-open. So I'm going to view each layer as a hybrid lash set of its own, okay? So hybrid meaning there's going to be 2 different types of fans on the bottom layer, and I'm going to blend them back and forth. So bottom layer is going to be 50% wet lashes and 50% long stem fans. That's going to give me darkness along the base, but still stark finish. So that's what's going to go across the bottom. Next, I'm going to go on the middle layer. My middle layer and my top layer are going to be 100% wet lashes. I'm doing that. Again, I want that starkness, but I want that really piecey, nice texture, but get this, in a soft manner. So I'm staying stark, I'm saying piecey, I'm saying soft, like all of these don't normally go together, but I feel very confident I can create that. And with this set, direction and placement is going to have to be so perfect. I'm really excited to show you guys what this ends up looking like. This is kind of my plan. So middle layer, again, I'm mixing 3mm different in lengths, but my lengths will be different than the top layer so that they all blend together. Now, I'm gonna lash in layers. Like I said, I'm gonna start with the bottom layer and the middle layer. And then what I'm gonna do, your length comes from the top layer most often. You can get the most length from the top layer because it sits higher on the lash line. So it's always gonna look longer than the rest. So what I like to do, and this is like such a big hack, if you place your bottom and your middle layer first, and then take a moment and have your client open their eyes and look at how their lash set looks, and then you can really know, oh, I have to really bump up my lengths, or this is good enough, I don't need to put additional length on that top layer. So then you can really decide if you want to change anything, or if you want to modify your map, or you can really focus on your aesthetic vision if you do the bottom 2 layers and then the top layer, use it to your advantage by deciding the lengths once the others are done. So I am working with a mix of C curl and CC curl in 0.05s for this set, all handmade volume. And I'm lashing with my Lost Artistry glasses on. Rebecca has really, look at her eyes, they're absolutely stunning. She has a very lifted middle section of the eye, so her eye is quite rounded. If I were to do her longest lengths out here, I would have to be so careful that I didn't mess up my sections and put my longest length kind of in the middle, because what would end up happening is she would have an unintentional peak in the middle, and then the lengths would look shorter on the outer corner. So if we were going for a cat eye, I would have to be really careful with my mapping and my sections. I want to emphasize the arch of her eye today. We used to do this all the time, and then we started moving to squirrel and cat eye, but I'm stepping back to basics today. It's gonna be fun. Okay, so often when I'm looking for my doll eye section, I want you to open up, and I'm looking at a couple things. First thing I'm looking at is, of course, the eye shape. Second thing I'm looking at is the crease of the eye. Do I need corrections anywhere? No, she has nice shape. Her eyes are they already look so arched, so it's gonna be no trouble to bring this to life. So I'm gonna find where I want my section, my emphasis area to begin and end. There you go. And open. I just want to make sure they're even. Okay, now what I have to do is draw that on my map so that I can always remember what I am doing. And when I'm putting my iPads on, the goal is to place them perfectly in line with the waterline. Not over the waterline and not so far down that the bottom lashes are exposed. It has to be just right. Takes a bit to get used to that for sure. But there's tips and tricks on how to do it. And we have videos that are free on YouTube, and we also teach it in all of our online trainings as well. How to place the iPads properly. I've just completed my bottom and middle layer, and as I've said before, I like to work on my top layer last for this type of set, only because I want to make sure that the lash length is perfect and that I can really put the right density and curls in on that top layer to bring everything together. So my foundation has been built, the darkness is already created a lot along the base, and now I just want to take a moment. I've taken my eye pads off, I've taken my glue ring off, very important because the glue ring shouldn't be anywhere near your client's eyes with their eyes open. So I took that off, and now I just want to inspect. It's also a good time to look and see if we have to make directional corrections or if we've missed any lashes along that bottom layer. And then from here, we're going to perfect the style and really bring it to life. I can see one lash in there that I don't love. Perfect. I'm going to find that one once I put the eye pads on. It's just not directed properly, this one right there. I'm going to go ahead and remove that one so that it looks nice and clean along that base. So I already took the eye pads off. She is gonna just take a bathroom break, and I'm gonna plan out what I'm gonna do from here on out and get the right lashes ready. So it's a perfect time. We're gonna split it up a little bit, and when she comes back, I'll put the eye pads back on and finish the set. But first I wanna see her with her eyes open. Wow, these are
cool.
Really pretty. Like
nice.
if this is the cool thing about doing the bottom and middle layer first too, is that if you had to go right now, if it was like urgent, you'd be like, these are bomb. Yeah, but they're gonna be perfect when they're done. I was just on a roll.
Have you had any protein this morning?
No, I haven't, and I always eat protein in the morning.
I have a couple little nuts in my bag if you want them.
Thank you. I have
my bag nuts.
I brought some to you. Want my bag nuts? The bottom of the purse nuts.
No.